So our next guest is a solid example of people here on Delmarva doing big things.
And not just here at home, but around the world. She's part of a group that took up the challenge of empowering women in Afghanistan and nailed it in an unconventional way by starting the first female mountain climbing team in that country. Here to tell us more about how this all came to be is Brenda Stewart, who is a volunteer board chair for Ascend Leadership through Athletics. Brenda, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. So we're going to get to the mountain climbing team in just a second, but first tell us more about Ascend.
Ascend is a US-based, we're actually based in Virginia. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, and we're a women's leadership and empowerment organization. And the tools that we use to provide leadership and development opportunities for young women are mountain climbing, the sport of mountain climbing, and community service. So we work with young women in areas of conflict, and we've chosen Afghanistan as our first location and site. And we provide them a wraparound support program that teaches them everything from rock climbing to backpacking to mountain climbing. And they're also required to volunteer at least 10 hours of community service with different community service partners in the Kabul area that we have as well.
So why Afghanistan?
Our founder and executive director is a woman named Marina Legree. She currently resides in the DC area. She spent almost 10 years working in Afghanistan during the 2000s with different aid organizations in the US government, helping to deliver the mission of the US government in Afghanistan, and was deeply moved and motivated by the plight of women that she met and encountered along the way. And when she left that working station, she really had a strong desire to give something back and to do something more for the young women that she met. And she wanted to create a unique space that women could occupy that wasn't traditionally occupied by Afghan women. Right. And she's also from Washington State and is a major outdoors person and wanted to give girls the opportunity to connect with the outdoors because that's not something that's commonly done in Afghanistan, especially for women. And so mountain climbing was it. Afghanistan has beautiful mountains. Most people don't know that.
Well, talk to us about the importance of empowering women in Afghanistan.
Yeah, women, Afghans in general, I mean, live a very difficult life. There's a lot of challenges to everyday living, regardless of whether you're male or female, but specifically for females, there's a huge roadblock, or many roadblocks that they have to overcome, whether it's access to education, access to being able to provide for their families and work, or having a voice, whether it's in their family, their village, their larger community as a whole. Excuse me, education and unemployment rates for Afghan women are extremely low. And so we wanted to do something that would not necessarily shake up the entire status quo, but give them an opportunity to have an individual leadership potential in their families, in their small communities, and hopefully in the whole of Afghanistan eventually.
So you've been there.
I have.
And do I understand Afghanistan's First Lady is a big supporter of this as well?
She is. The First Lady of Afghanistan is Mrs. Rula Ghani, and she is a huge supporter of Ascend, which is our program. I was in Kabul in January and February of this year and was able to have a private meeting. Marina, the executive director, and I had a meeting with Mrs. Ghani, and she spent a good deal of time speaking to us and has consistently over the last 2 years supported our girls and invited them to the presidential palace and had them speak at different conferences and things throughout the country, and really believes in what we're doing.
So what is it like over there in Afghanistan?
Yeah, it's a beautiful country, truly. The landscape is gorgeous. There's many mountains, which are even visible from Kabul, the capital city. But it's a very challenging place. It's still an area of active conflict, both from the Taliban and ISIS, and there are still American forces that are there, although the presence is much smaller than it used to be. But every day is a challenge. During my trip there, unfortunately, I came at a time when there was an escalation in Taliban-led attacks. There was 4 different attacks during the few weeks that I was there, which some of them have been the largest attacks that the country had seen in many years. So, and I also experienced my first earthquake too.
Oh,
so
wow.
It was quite an adventure.
All in one fell swoop. How about that?
Yeah.
So the women you help, have you heard anything back? What have you heard back?
Most definitely. Our team members, we've created an alumni network. Ascend was started programming in 2015. So in the last 3 years, we've been able to serve almost 60 girls. We've led 17 different backpacking and mountain climbing expeditions. We have a massive expedition coming up later this year where our girls will attempt to summit Mount Noshak, which is Afghanistan's tallest peak. It's at 24,500 feet. Wow. And through all of that programming, we've been able to keep a pretty close relationship to many of the girls that we've been working with. And so when I was there earlier this year, we had an alumni event and took the girls bowling. And every single girl that I've spoken to just can't talk enough about what Ascend has meant to them, both on a professional level, but really on a personal level. It's created a small family where they can feel safe and they can be fed and they can belong, which are not necessarily things that they always get to enjoy or have access to in other parts of their life. Right. With some of our girls, even one of my missions when I was there was to create some storytelling projects about how our project has affected some of the girls that we've been working with. And one of our girls in particular has come from incredibly challenging circumstances in life, to say the least. And she was sharing her journey with me and how Ascend has helped her learn how to read and write. It has given her access to other girls who've helped tutor her in that process. It's helped give her access to computer programming skills and training programs. And it literally has put food on the table for her and her family.
That's awesome.
That is amazing.
We're pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing.
Right.
Our girls are really amazing.
And you couldn't do this without the help of the community and people from around the world, right?
Correct. We are still a very small but growing organization. And so the majority of our funding comes from small individual donations. Our average donation size ranges between $50 and $75. Our budget is about $200,000 a year. So we do a lot with a little, and we try to use our resources very wisely. We do receive a couple of small family foundation grants as well.
So we want to get you more.
Yes.
So you've got something coming up June 4th.
I do, yes. I live in the Rehoboth Beach area, and so we are partnering with Lefty's Alleys and Eats, which is a lovely bowling alley and restaurant venue, and they're sponsoring our event, and we are showing a film screening, which is a fundraiser for Ascend. In 2015, during our inaugural year, Vice, the TV show, or TV station Vice, filmed a film project about our first expedition.
Oh, wow.
And so we will be screening that film at Lefty's Alleys and Eats, the Vice Impact production, the Monday night, June 4th from 7 to 9. Tickets are $15. We only have 30 tickets left. I do expect to sell out before the night of the event, so I encourage people to go on the website and buy them ahead of time. And 100% of the proceeds from that night will be go directly to programming.
Wow. Brenda Stewart with Ascend. Thank you for
Thank you
what
so
you're
much.
doing.
Thanks for all your
Good
help.
luck with everything. Get your tickets tonight because they're going to be gone quick.